Hi, I'm Flo, the Chief Chocolate Lady from Choc on Choc, and we've been making chocolate in Somerset for 22 years. We started Choc on Choc in 2003, and it's a family business with my dad and myself. We are based in Somerset, very near to Frome. We started using Linnworks in 2021, and it's been absolutely revolutionary for the business. It was quite tricky to get it all sort of launched up to begin with, the setup, but once we got into it, it absolutely changed the way that we work. So Choc on Choc supplies stores like Selfridges and Fenix, and we ship all over the world, which is absolutely incredible. We also do an awful lot of sales through our online platforms, and that's where Linnworks has come into this for us. So we currently sell through our own platform, and then we sell on Walmart, we're selling on Amazon, we also do Etsy, and we're working now on launching on Temu as well, which is very exciting. So our main point of sale at the moment is within the UK, but we also sell into America as well, which is exciting. And we're looking forward to trying to move across over to the Middle East as well, but currently Europe's a no-go for us with the chocolate at the moment. So peak for us is Q4, so that's any time onwards from Halloween onwards, and then we get all the way through to Easter. So we get a really nice kind of time of year for us to sell our chocolates. So before we used Linnworks, every day we would print out from all the different platforms that we were on, and at one point we were on 5 or 6. So that we would then have piles and piles of paper from each platform and try and collate the orders in terms of product. So that would then try and make it more efficient for packing. But in actual fact, orders got muddled up in terms of dates and everything, and orders went out without the right products in. And there was just general chaos. We weren't able to control the stock. And so therefore, ultimately, we were absolutely exhausted because we were just chasing our tail all day long, trying to get orders out the door. So the challenges affected the business because every day was taken up with actually more admin, sorting the orders and trying to work out what the best process was, rather than actually being able to pack orders and make the right amount of stock. So therefore we fell behind really, really easily. And then once you fall behind in peak, it's an absolute nightmare. So before we introduced Linnworks into the business, we were blind in everything that we were trying to do and achieve. We just went through each day hoping that we'd find out exactly what we needed at the end. Whereas now we can have 3 people on the team who can pack the orders, and we have 2 people who are picking, and we're able to see which orders we can fulfill, so we can do that really quickly. And then the unfulfillable orders means that somebody else in the team is actually getting those made, and then at the end of the day all the orders get to go out. So now we can achieve 1,000 orders a day without anyone crying. During lockdown, so before we introduced Linnworks to the business, we had one week where we received 30,000 orders, and we actually printed out 30,000 pieces of paper, put them all over the table and tried to sort them out, and it was wild. We had no control over what was happening and which orders were going out, and we were unable to track orders efficiently. Everything did go through, but it just was an absolute nightmare, and now we are a paperless business. We chose Linnworks because we initially needed to integrate our own site, and then we realised we were able to integrate Amazon, and then we were able to make our own APIs. We're not on the high street, and there was other sites then that we could join, and so now we've joined actually 7 more marketplaces since we've integrated with Linnworks. Our onboarding process with Linnworks was actually really easy because we were really lucky. We have a tech guy in-house, and he absolutely couldn't wait to get started on the system. So one of the partners from Linnworks came down, and we spent 24 hours here and we cracked it all out and we got it done. It was a little bit disruptive to the business initially, but it also showed us who was shirking doing their work. We really loved being able to see what people were doing, and actually we realised that a lot of people weren't actually being as productive as we thought they were, and like we thought, there was a lot of paper shuffling going on. So this really pulled everything out into the open, and we were able to realise quite quickly how we could make the business even faster and more efficient. Within Linnworks, the most used functions for us, we actually use the hourly packing rate. That's really helpful for us to be able to see what people are doing. But we also like to use the forecasting because nobody has a crystal ball apart from Linnworks. And the other thing that we use an awful lot as well is inventory and for stock tracking. And as soon as we've got all of those things in place, everything just feels so much easier within the business. Within Linnworks, there's an area where you can go into and you can see orders that you can't fulfill, and that's extremely helpful for the production team to be able to know exactly what needs to be made. And we also use the insights an awful lot in order to gauge where sales were this time in last year, and also to see where our growth is coming from. So since we brought Linnworks on board, we've actually made our dispatch team smaller, but the business has actually grown, and we've gone on to more marketplaces. But because of all the efficiencies that it's brought for us, it actually means that we are growing as a result of it. Next for Choc on Choc is to grow through more marketplaces. I think now we've got the system set up and everything's in place, it really means that we've now got the opportunity to just grow. When we first considered Linnworks, it actually looked like a really scary piece of tech that we were bringing into the business, and it felt like it was maybe too big for our business and that we weren't really at the right stage for it. But then we made a group called Another Level, and we decided we were going to step up and try it, and actually it has made a big difference. And I think it can make a difference even if you're smaller to begin with, because then it gives you the opportunity to grow. If you had 30 seconds to pitch Linnworks to your boss, it will drive efficiencies, and there's so much information in Linnworks, and I think we've only touched the tip of the iceberg in terms of what Linnworks can actually do for our business. When it's peak and it is chaos, actually there's a lot of order in it now. There never used to be. It used to be absolutely chaotic, but we all thrive on the excitement of it, the buzz of it, the trying to get the targets out. We constantly go back and check through the system to see how many orders that we've currently fulfilled so far that day, and see if we can beat the day before. And we also like to do lots of Instagram posts and time lapses on just what we're achieving, and that kind of really helps drive the team. Yeah, I guess if we could eliminate anything, it would be having to pack the boxes, but we're not Amazon, so we don't have any robots. I think operationally you can be held back. So in our business we can actually be held back because everything we do is handmade. Now we can actually have more of the team on that and then less of the team on the actual sort of packing and the dispatch side of things. My New Year's resolution is we're going to launch a new drink, and we want to bring the fun into functional with that healthy drink. I think our business is in control thanks to Linnworks. But when we have no internet, it's chaos. We often have no internet in this village.